VIP guest of the day. He is someone who definitely can brings us a perspective from the highest level of finance. Why? Because his name is Mr. Robert Pedraza. So he is the Chief Financial Advisor to the AI Global Legend community. So tonight, he will open up our mind with his insights through an institutional lens. So by actually seeing in terms of the institution perspective, this can definitely help us see how financial strategies and decentralized technologies are converging to shape the future, right? So guys, he's here today with us. He's here to broaden our vision, to inspire us to think even bigger. So family, light up the chat with the word Robert and a fire emoji as we welcome Mr. Robert Pedraza for his mind-opening session.
Woo,
so, Mr. Robert,
Thank you.
The stage is yours.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm screen sharing. Do you see my screen? Does everyone see the screen?
Yep, clear, very clear.
Okay, great. So thank you for the introduction. I have just briefly about myself. I have over 40 years of experience in capital markets. Surprisingly, I'm now going to be 64 here in the fall. So it's been a long journey. But I've been a junior partner in an investment bank in New York almost 35 years ago. Been a managing director at Fidelity Investments, and also ran my own institutional equity trading business here in Princeton, New Jersey, and been a partner in a quant hedge fund strategy. I've also participated in 3 industrial technology turnarounds, and I'm now in a biotech initiative that we anticipate taking public at the end of 2026 or early 2027 for over $3 billion. What I've been asked to do today is give an overview and some perspective around give a global macroeconomic and capital markets perspective to what I feel is, how does the world exist today? So with 40 years of experience, I see the world obviously through this capital markets lens. And I stepped back and I wanted to analyze like the 3 sectors that the Nivo 3.0 ecosystem is involved with, as well as others. So my focus is I wanted to step back and look at philanthropy, artificial intelligence, infrastructure, and step back and really analyze what is the market opportunities that exist for this community within the context of the world we live in today. So what I see is a lot of pattern recognition. I see what's happening in crypto, digital assets, and decentralized finance is mirroring what I previously saw in traditional centralized finance. And I see that evolving, again, within philanthropy, social media, and AI infrastructure. So I wanted to take a step back, analyze those 3 sectors, and look at them in an unbiased manner through a capital markets lens. And my focus is the intent of my discussion is to contextualize what the Nivo 3.0 ecosystem brings to the global economy today. So with that, I'll start my presentation. What we're looking at here is the United States government publishes an annual report no different than any other public company in the United States of America. And this report is put together under generally accepted accounting principles, which is known as GAAP. And there's 3 primary financial statements. We have the income statement, balance sheet, and statement of changes in financial position. So this is actually taken off of the US government website. And this is the annual financial report. And if you look on the right, it was signed by Janet Yellen, the then Secretary of Treasury, before the Trump administration was inaugurated. And this is on January 16th of 2025. So this is extremely current information. what I've done is I've gone straight to the executive summary, and it summarizes the fiscal condition of the US government at the end of 2024. And in the executive summary, what I think is very interesting and a little bit deceptive is at the bottom three is really the three most important points that I want to talk about that are creating the opportunity and driving the adoption of decentralized finance, digital assets, and crypto. So at the bottom three on the left are highlighted. And what I did is I moved them over to the right so we can all read them. And I want to go through these because they're extremely important, and we'll talk about their impact. So what it says here, the first point is the statement of long-term fiscal projections shows that the present value of total non-interest spending over the next 75 years under current policy is projected to exceed the present value of receipts or money inbound by $72 trillion. And this doesn't include, as it says here, the non-interest net expenditures from the previous page. What this means is that on a present value basis, the government is going to spend 72 trillion more over the next 75 years than it takes in. But it quantifies that number in present value, which when you take present value, you are discounting back cash flows in the future to today. And the effect of that is it minimizes that number. The actual dollar amount in future dollars over 75 years is easily 400 to 500 trillion dollars. This is alarming. The second point it makes is that the debt to GDP, our national debt as the United States government, in relation to the annual gross economic output, no different than, let's say, my credit card versus my income versus my salary, currently sits at 98%, which means if I made $50,000 a year, I have almost $50,000 in credit card debt. But what it goes on to say is that in the next 75 years, that debt to GDP ratio is going to go to 535%, meaning my income is still 50,000, but my credit card debt's now over $250,000. That is financially unsustainable. And the last is even more shocking. Here in the US, we have what's called social insurance programs. And what it says is that Social Security and Medicare, which is like a health insurance for retirees and disabled, is projected to spend $78 trillion more than it takes in. So what am I really talking about here? What I'm talking about is the threats to the US government's financial position, and the world trade is based on the US dollar. And what are we really worried about here? Is a potential devaluation and collapse of the US dollar, which would send shockwaves through the world. And that is what's driving fear, and that is what's driving people to decentralized finance, crypto, blockchain, and digital assets. This is not limited to just the US. So on the left, what I'm showing is the debt to GDP ratio of 35 countries. We're only in 5th place. Japan has 249% debt to GDP. This is alarming. Greece is at 168%. Venezuela, 146. So you can see these are the top 35 nations that are continuing to print fiat money, continuing to spend more than they take in, which is devaluing their currencies, and ultimately there could be a day of reckoning. All of this is driving people to blockchain, decentralized finance, Bitcoin, and other upcoming tokens, which will be discussed today. This is the context of the monetary system as it exists today. Now, let me go to the next slide. So where are the next set of opportunities to protect and grow your decentralized wealth in the rapidly advancing global digital economy. And the Nevo ecosystem has carefully selected cutting-edge blockchain, Web 3.0, and AI projects and integrated them into a super project that I believe, after unbiased research, will disrupt philanthropy, social media, and the infrastructure sectors, as well as others, including education. So let's first talk about, what do I mean by disruption? So what is digital disruption, and what are the disruptors to look out for in 2026? Let's define disruption. It refers to a change in expectations, behaviors, caused and expressed through digital capabilities, channels, or assets that radically alters the culture, market, industry, or process. And when does this happen? This happens when new digital technologies, services, capabilities, and business models affect and change the value of the industry's existing goods and services. And I believe strongly that the Nevo 3.0 ecosystem, super ecosystem, is properly and readily positioned to do exactly that. So let's get started and talk about the first topic, which is philanthropy. And you'll be hearing more about these sectors, but I'm back looking at this from a global macro perspective. Philanthropy is an industry. Now, it may be nonprofit, it may be doing well while doing good, but it's still an industry. And it's a $1.3 trillion global industry. 770 billion of that comes from individuals. That's around 1% of global GDP. So this answers the question, is philanthropy big? Absolutely. At 770 trillion of individual donations by global citizens around the world. Where is this money being sent to? On the right, you can see you have the US, Ireland, UK, Netherlands, Singapore, New Zealand, and India. And what it does in this chart, it shows where is this money being directed to? Religion, foundations, public society benefit, individuals, human services, education, which Alan Smithson will be talking about in great detail, health, arts, and cultures, okay? This is an enormous industry that up until now has not really gone through disruption, but it's poised to be disrupted by what's going to be talking about by Jerry Lopez. So what are the major trends reshaping global philanthropy? And how is PhilSocial positioned to be the disruptor, to grab a significant amount of that $1.3 trillion global market share? So here are the trends. One, we're seeing digital transformation and online giving. Technology is reshaping philanthropy, making giving more digital, instant, and accessible. This is an interesting fact that was put together by a global philanthropic consulting firm. Over 50% of the donors prefer online contributions via credit and debit cards over cash and mail. This is a titanic shift over what took place 10 years ago. Next, after a leading publication shows that organizations embracing digital strategies see faster growth. Right now, online giving is 10 to 20%. It's going to be 30 to 50% by 2034. There's only one question. Who's going to grab that market share? And lastly, digital-first organizations are growing 12% faster than the average nonprofit. This is talking about the potential for significant disruption that's already just beginning, but is setting the stage for the speakers who are to come. So this isn't an option any longer. It's a necessity. So now let's look at social media now and its next evolution. So on the left, you see a lot of common brands: LinkedIn, Pinterest, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. And on the right, who I believe, under the brilliant direction of Jerry Lopez, is PhilSocial. So let's look at media now and its next evolution. So what we have here is, I'm trying to contextualize, again, from a capital markets perspective, how big is social media? Well, here's a chart. The leading 81 social media companies, their market capitalization is $3 trillion. So what is market capitalization? It means if the number of shares that are outstanding in the public marketplace times the price per share, you multiply those two numbers, and that's the enterprise public value of the company. In the top 10, it's close to $2 trillion. As an industry, it's $3 trillion. This is the size and scale of the opportunity that everyone here is positioned to participate in through the vehicles that will be discussed by the founders and CEOs of these opportunities. This is an extraordinary opportunity targeting a huge market. So here, why do these companies have so much market cap? Why are they so valuable? Let's look at the revenues. Annual revenue in 2024 in billions. Facebook, 80 billion. Instagram, 49 billion. YouTube, 31 billion. TikTok, 16 billion annually. As an industry, these players account for 222 billion in revenue. And I can tell you, they're only sharing a very small fraction of that. And that's one of the mechanisms that PhilSocial is going to leverage, which Jerry Lopez will talk about, the founder of PhilSocial. Now, I'm going to pause here for a minute and just say, I had the opportunity to spend the afternoon with Jerry Lopez in Dubai at the invitation of Dr. Jeffrey Gann. And I have to tell you something. Jerry Lopez is a man that possesses two key characteristics. Number one, superior business intelligence. Number two, unyielding integrity. And you need to deal with people that have those two characteristics. Because if they have integrity but no superior intelligence, they can't help you. And if they have superior intelligence and no integrity, well, then they'll steal from you. And Jerry Lopez has both, as well as other distinctive qualities that make him an extraordinary human being. And I'm proud to have met him and look forward to working with him in the future. Now let's talk about AI. Artificial intelligence is changing the world. How big is this opportunity? Again, let's take a step back. We're all here today. How big is this opportunity in front of us? Okay. Here is the annualized revenue, historical as well as projected, for the global cloud artificial intelligence market. Okay, we're sitting at a $121 billion market today between Middle East and Africa, Latin America, Asia, Europe, and North America. And it is projected to hit $647 billion within 5 years. And again, the Phil AI mining is positioning us as an infrastructure player to participate in this marketplace and win. This is cloud AI. Another element is AI and cybersecurity. Today, a little over $30 billion, projected to triple to over $90 billion in 2030. Again, these are the opportunities this community is being expertly positioned to take advantage vis-a-vis the Nevo 3.0 super ecosystem. So here is the, artificial intelligence is changing the world. And it is, in my opinion, that Phil AI Mining will be the leading provider of the critical and scalable hardware infrastructure to AI cloud services providers. You have an extraordinary opportunity to take advantage of these global macro opportunities vis-a-vis these programs and this community at Nevo 3.0 ecosystem. So what are the key elements in conclusion? What are the key elements to success? As a venture capitalist, private equity investor, industrial turnaround specialist, I can tell you I see it's three things. It's recognizing the right opportunity for industry disruption, developing the right strategy that enables quick entry, accelerating adoption, and market dominance. And as I alluded to earlier, having the right leadership with unyielding integrity and superior business intelligence. And the Nevo 3.0 ecosystem brings and its people bring those three elements together. So I think the future is extraordinarily bright for everyone on this call who, as one of the previous speakers said, is 100% in and not looking back. That concludes my remarks. Thank you.
Wow, wow, wow. Thank you so much, Mr. Robert Pedraza from AI Global Legends community. What informative and in-depth sharing and research on our blockchain industries and our business, of course. So guys, this is why I said I like this community a lot, because they are able to provide me something even my university can't provide. Because yep, my university can provide me with all the terms, but they cannot provide me the terms according to our market now. So a very, very in-depth sharing by Mr. Robert Pedraza, where he shared to us the financial report, the driving force, not only just that, even the industry itself on the blockchain, AI, and even like the industries that we're working in, which is deep in. So not only just that, he even compared to he showed us all the data that is actually available. So like I said, it's not what we have all showed you all in past with all the report. So it is all being shown in the market itself. So that's why today we are definitely looking to be in the right place, in the right time, and of course, most importantly, with the right people. So thank you so much once again, Mr. Robert Pedraza, for the very, very informative sharing, whereby I think most of us today absorb a lot, whereby they also learn a lot of more new things. So today we work in this industry. So today we should know what we are actually working in, and this is the future. So if we do not know, or if we do not adapt to what's happening, the changes that's happening to the market, you will definitely be eliminated. So today is about the adaptation into the market we have today, and this is our future. So, yep, thank you so much. And up next, of course, we'll have our next our next speaker. Of course, we are very truly honored to welcome our very visionary leader who works in transforming not just only the blockchain world, like what Mr. Pedraza has already shared, but also communities around the world. So it's Pastor Jerry Lopez. So he's the CEO and the founder of PhilSocial and PhilCoin, which is the world's first philanthropic blockchain ecosystem. So he has a little bit about him. He has over 17 years of network marketing experience, and also he's been in blockchain for about more than 7 years. So he has dedicated his life to global expansion, brand building, and even creating an impact through technology and faith. So not only just that, he also holds a master in ministry and also a doctorate in Christian studies. And that's why today his voice is actually broadcast to the world through about 39 churches and actually more than 800 radio stations. So family, another powerhouse that will be sharing to us tonight. This is someone who blends the technology with purpose. So let's fill the chat with Pastor Jerry and a fire emoji as we welcome Pastor Jerry Lopez, bringing us his sharing and the updates on PhilSocial.
Oh my gosh, thank you for the introduction. Can you guys hear me well? Vincent, can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear, Pastor.
Thank you so much. Hey, I just got to say, guys, I think we really need to give Robert Pedraza some love on that chat, because man, that information that he shared is not only valuable, but thank you so much for the time you took, Robert, this morning. And I'm sure you've been, with your 40 years of industry expertise, I'm sure you really took a dive to really give someone a great explanation about what's happening around the world with this all this great innovation that we've just been blessed to be able to have the opportunity to be part of. So thank you, Robert, for that. And one of the things that I can share, guys, and I won't take a lot of your time, Robert could not have said it better, right? Times are shifting. I believe that every century, a new innovation has to happen, a new shift in humanity has to happen, and we're at the fork between 2025 and 2035. We're in the biggest fork of digitalization in the planet. I think we're finding ourselves, as right now I'm here in the beautiful island of Puerto Rico, surrounded by some of our partners who are sitting here at the table with me. Guys, say hello. Those are some of our partners are here. We're over here at our table in Puerto Rico. And you walk into a restaurant now, and guess what? People are not even accepting cash anymore. There's places that, you got to have a debit card or a ATH mobile, a card to be able to even buy. Like, there's places already not even accepting cash. So the question is, what do you do? How do you bank the unbanked? How do you bring, social equality? How do you really change the way giving happens for everything that we're talking about, right? So when Robert talks about, there being a $7 trillion a year industry in the philanthropy space, he's not far short from that. And I always tell people, documentation beats conversation. Numbers don't lie, people do. And the truth is, that's the biggest reality. And when we got the idea of changing the way giving happens in 2015, and it wasn't until 2020 that we really understood that it was through social media. I just had two things that I wanted to make sure of. Number one, that we bring philanthropy to the peer-to-peer level, because it's always been done on an institutional level, as Robert was sharing, on a foundation level, on a government level, on a mass glow level. And unfortunately enough, out of every dollar, we'll be lucky if the end user or the end cause sees 20% of that. So that was the first thing that I wanted to change. And I said, what if we don't make everyone philanthropists? What if we find a way to make sure that everyone can call themselves a philanthropist if they have something to give with? And that's when the idea came about of creating the algorithm of tracking user time on computer softwares and going right ahead and rewarding the person with blockchain tokens, which is the first thing that I learned about in 2015 when I introduced me to Bitcoin. The first thing that I went to go do, I went down the rabbit hole of what Bitcoin really represented. And the true genesis of it, a lot of people don't even realize that the genesis of Bitcoin was given away in its inception to create transaction history. So I said, well, we've lost sight of that. Let me go ahead and build a place where people have something to give that they've never had while doing something that they're already doing. So I didn't reinvent the wheel. I just redirected the way money flows. I went ahead and just found a place where I can be able to give back by giving something more that is not being done right now, which is honoring you for your time. So when Robert talks about disruption, I just did an Uber effect on social media by just simply adding a new layer of economic value, which is blockchain. So this is not rocket science, guys. The smartest things that happen in life are the simplest ones. That's why they're so hard to understand. So a lot of people, when we look at each other, and we have amazing leaders right now, probably representing 20, 30 countries, what is the one thing that you value most of your life that once you spend it, you can't get it back? It's your time. So if I can reward you for the time that you're already spending and give you something to do with it, but with one catch, the catch is very simple. Guess what? At the end of the month, when you receive these rewards from PhilSocial, the app is going to tell you, hey, Vincent, congratulations. You just made 20, 30 bucks. But guess what? I need you to do something for me. I want you to go and give half of it away to people in need on their peer-to-peer causes, and you get to keep the other half. Well, guess what? You never had that whole 100% to begin with. Now I'm giving you something to give back with. So with that said, guys, PhilSocial coming now into this big partnership and global footprint, Eats Meets the West with Nebo, it cannot be any better. Look at the heart of your founder. Dr. Jeffrey, comes from wealth. He's a person that understands wealth because he's always seen it. But guess the one thing that he's seen? He saw necessity and he wants to fill a need. That's why Nebo's here together with people like Alan and all the other founders that are here that have extraordinary technologies. And they're like, hey, you guys got to look into this. I was laughing the other day because Alan texts me, and mind you, he has a massive AI company, and he's a friend. He's like, Jerry, go check your website. It's down. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And these are the type of things when you have another founder, looking out for all of you guys and working in collaboration. This is what Nebo is about. What Nebo is trying to do is bring everyone from around the world together to participate in something great that brings unification and not division. So when I got with Jeffrey, with Jordan, with the entire team, and they say, hey, listen, we want to go ahead and plug in Pi to PhilSocial Pro, and let's just go and change the world together. Alan has all this amazing AI technology. Now we have our gaming partners about coming down the road as well. Like, what more could we ask for? If you've been building network marketing, if you've been in 20 companies in the past 30 years, the question is, aren't you tired of being from company to company when you've now found a place that you can call home, like Phil AI and everything that's going on, and say, you know what, I am ready to go change the world with it, and this is your opportunity. And guess what? You're getting paid for your time in it. So I'll leave you guys with this. Whoever's coming to speak after me, it's not about setting the bar high. It's about setting the standards correct. Every single speaker that's here today, from the beginning of this global leadership conference, everyone here has something amazing to say. And my prayer today is for everyone, regardless of your religion, is that we have a big God that blesses us, and at the end of the day, we have a big mission to fulfill, which is love. We want to love humanity, we want to love our people, and we want to do what's best for them, and we're going to do that by changing the way giving happens. So thank you guys very much. Vincent, over to you. Robert, thanks again for that great presentation. We love you guys. Look forward to seeing you soon.
All right. Thank you so much, Pastor Jerry, because I